These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, April 22nd, day after Game 1 of Celtics Heat. We did our whole recap after the game. You can check that out on the channel right now, for our full in-depth thoughts. It's up on audio platforms too. You can see it there. A reminder, as always, before we get into everything, make sure to leave a like on the video. We'd appreciate it very, very much. We're going to be pumping out content during the playoffs every single day and streams 3 days a week as well, and before every game. Subscribe to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. Leave us notifications as well. We'd appreciate it very much. And make sure on audio platforms to follow us there. Leave us 5 stars. All that good stuff. Sam, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for the show today. We got a Game 1 win to talk about a little bit more. A little injury update coming at you from this series. We got the rest of the playoffs to talk about and even some NBA award finalists to talk about. Who doesn't love that? And we always have the rat list at the end. So stick around for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's dive in. And a reminder, Sam just outlined some of the topics on the YouTube. The topics are in the description every single pod, so you can just click around if you'd like to listen to certain topics. But anyways, we're gonna start with Game 1. Celtics absolutely murder the Heat in Game 1. Again, like I said, we did a recap on the channel. You can get our full in-depth thoughts there. But Jayson Tatum, triple-double, 23, 10, and 10. Played the role of facilitator very well. So the Celtics defense completely locked up the Heat and Bam Adebayo. Tyler Hero couldn't do anything because of Jrue Holiday. And the Celtics are now up 1-0 in the series. Good win. I mean, we can do a brief recap of the game here. We've talked about it twice already on the channel and on Talking Seas today with Bobby Koritsky. But yeah, Sam, up 1-0. Can't ask for much more.
When your team wins in the playoffs, you just can't stop talking about it sometimes. You just got to hammer it home. Quick takeaways from Game 1. Thought the Celtics looked like a serious team for the first time in a little over a year in the playoffs, right? Nice to see them come out and look serious in Game 1. They left absolutely no doubt in this game. They come out and score 14 straight points to kick off the game. And people like me, who might have been a little bit anxious heading into this game, quickly were walked way far away from the ledge and got to relax and enjoy some good playoff hoops for the rest of the day. That is until Bam Adebayo laid out Derek White and Caleb Martin try to kill Jayson Tatum.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I feel like that's the real sticking point. We can do a VAR here. We can start with Caleb Martin. We did this a little bit on the the show where we recapped the game, but obviously Caleb Martin undercut Jayson Tatum while he was going for a rebound. Jaylen Brown got in his face. Brown and Martin got double technicals. Bill Simmons talked about it on this podcast today, saying, I thought he got shoved by Jrue Holiday. Guys don't try to hurt each other like that in basketball. If they do, it's a repeated thing where they are known for it, like you mentioned on Talking Seas with Draymond. But here's the play in question. I'll pull it up for us to take a look at here. Let me just put us in the corner so we can share the screen.
Timeout.
But here is the play in question where he undercut Jrue Holiday, Jayson Tatum. Yeah, I think from this angle, it's pretty clear that Jrue Holiday pushed his momentum into Tatum. I don't think Jrue was trying to do anything malicious. I think it's just him. It's physical game. It's physical. It's playoffs. Tatum said this after the game. It's physical. He wasn't even mad at Caleb Martin in general. But I don't think there was any malicious action upon second review from Caleb Martin here. I don't think he did anything intentional. I don't think he would try to hurt him like that.
The play itself looked pretty bizarre at the time, considering that the game was pretty much over and there was no need to fly in for a box out like that when Tatum's already in midair. However, you can see the significant increase in speed after Martin gets shoved by Jrue Holiday. A shove, by the way, that does not look extremely powerful from certain angles, but when you see the wide angle that's shown at the beginning of this replay, it does change the point of view a little bit. Do I think that it was intentionally trying to hurt him? Probably not. But you do also have a little bit of a decision to make when you get shoved like that. He could have just kind of not jumped and not ran into Tatum.
He didn't jump. I think that was the problem. The problem was he didn't jump because he got shoved. If he had jumped, this wouldn't have been a problem because they would have just been in midair. You see what I'm saying? He didn't have time to jump. I think he was going to go jump right late. Here. Yeah, well, because he got shoved. This is the angle that does it for me here. Right here. You can see he was going to jump effectively in line where with Kristaps is standing and they would have bumped in the air. but cuz Drew pushed him, it like changed his course and he like couldn't jump until he was already under Tatum, who, for what it's worth, Caleb Martin wasn't even looking at Tatum for the entirety of the play. Like, I just, obviously, like, the knee-jerk reaction is, what the hell, what are the Heat doing, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, watching this review, I just think it was an unfortunate, like, series of events. Like, he got shoved, he didn't see Tatum didn't know he was coming in, and he fell hard. And luckily, Tatum was okay, so none of this really matters. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything malicious. So I think Caleb Martin gets the all clear, at least from me. I don't think he meant to do anything.
Well, he's definitely not all clear. Fuck that guy. But do I think he's a dirty player today? No. You have a couple more games to earn my respect in the dirty player column, but you haven't done it just yet.
Now,
you're not on Draymond's level.
No. Title of this podcast is something along the lines of like, are the Heat playing dirty against the Celtics, or Heat dirty plays? That's probably what we're going to title it, something to that effect, because that's what we're going to be talking about for the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the show. But Caleb Martin gets the clear, Sam. Do you know who doesn't get the clear?
Bam.
Let's pull this
He
up.
is in the Draymond school of basketball / screen setting.
Let's pull this up. Let me find.
Nobody loves to move when they set a screen quite like this man.
Yeah, so this is the play in question. Derek White goes flying. Bam Adebayo was the best in the league at setting illegal screens without letting them come off as illegal screens. This is the perfect example. I don't want sound. What the fuck?
Wham.
Hip checks or shoulder checks. Derek White.
Just entire left side of his body checked.
Yeah. What are we doing? Like knee out, shoulder into his chest, like moving. You can see the feet sliding during the play. Like, how is this not an illegal screen? What are we watching? Like, what are we doing? I understand you have to allow a level of physicality. This ref is staring at it and nothing. What the hell? Like, what is happening? It's crazy, man. It's insane.
So this play rules because after the fact, which is not shown in this clip, the coaching staff is none too pleased with what.
Do you know when in the game this was?
How late?
Well, when in the game? Because I can like look at the box score.
Quarter. Late in the third quarter.
Okay. Let me see if I can find the replay that shows the clock.
I do think, for what it's worth, Derek White is embellishing.
Maybe a little.
Because he knows that Bam is moving. At the very least, this is an illegal screen. I don't know if it's a injury type play where people should be extremely concerned about it. But at the time, it didn't look nice.
I mean, I tweeted out during the game, like, Bam Adebayo just said a nasty parentheses less than legal screen against Derek White, and the Celtics are displeased. I'm gonna pull it up here. It was in the fourth quarter with around 8 minutes left. I'm hoping like there was like a shot or something attempt that I can look at on the play that will show the replay. But
the worst part of the Caleb Martin thing is everybody was so focused on that. You couldn't even ask Joe and the gang about what they thought of Bam.
I know. Here it is. The reaction isn't as visceral as I remember during the game, but like you can see people getting upset, and Tatum gets really upset after the fact about it. Like he gets shoved. You can see like some people on the bench not paying attention. Derek White was really mad. Like he was screaming. And then Jayson Tatum, I think, gets called for a foul here or something. And then he is pointing at like, how are we not calling the Bam thing? Dude, I saw friend of the pod, Andrew Claudio, or not friend of the pod, but friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
He has been all in on the Heat are a dirty team all season.
The Knicks fans are all in on the Heat thing because I think Randall got hurt against Miami too, and somebody else that went out for a significant amount of time was injured at the hands of the Heat for them too. So they are the ones that I have heard the most of. Watch out for the Heat. Not that they're going to beat you, but they will try and break your legs.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Okay, I found the play that they're mad at. I don't know if this is necessarily a dirty play, but I think this is what Knicks. Yeah, this is what Knicks fans were pissed at as far as the Heat playing dirty.
Let's see.
Jaime Jaquez goes to draw a charge on a driving Julius
Mind
Randle.
you, this is another game that is over.
Yes, it is, and I don't want sound. Jaime Jaquez. Yeah, see, I don't think this is Jaime Jaquez's fault. I think this rule needs to be adjusted. Like Randall was already driving. He had already gathered the ball when Hawkins was still moving. That should be okay. They called it a foul on Hawkins at least because he was still moving. But like, it's just the charge thing. Like, I think you should have to be actively guarding the defender to be the offensive player to be able to draw a charge. These step-in charges are what makes it dangerous. Or it has to be like far before you gather. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where things get dangerous.
The more that we discuss this and the more I hear about it from other people like us, the more I feel like this will change in the coming seasons. I don't know if it's going to change right away, but it does feel always. I mean, listen, Marcus was on our team for years, and the two of us love him. But it does feel kind of cheap to like be like, "Hey, I'm not guarding you. You beat your guy. Watch out for me. I'm going to just stand here. Don't hit me." So I could see it being changed. I don't think it's something that you see anywhere other than like professional / D1 games. Like you just don't see a ton of that.
Pelicans fans also displeased with the Heat. I just searched like Heat dirty, and here's a little Duncan Robinson action for you. Duncan Robinson on the ground. Herb Jones going to run down the floor. Let me just kick up my foot a little bit and trip you here.
Oh, looks like Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I hate calling like teams and stuff dirty because do you hear Scal's take on it?
Scal was pissed about I didn't put it on the sheet. So Scal, if you didn't see it yesterday, went on a huge rant on NBC Sports Boston about the Caleb Martin play.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he should be suspended. There's no place in the game for this. A lot of things along that line. And then he went on the Dan Le Batard show today, which is a huge hit in Miami. Big local programming for them down there. And he inevitably talked about this. You know who's none too pleased, Jack? One Udonis Haslem.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Surprise. What'd he say?
I think he was like, shut the fuck up, Brian, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think the Caleb Martin one was the one to be mad at after seeing the replay. The way he like inferred that Spo told Martin to go out there, like, I'm sorry, Spo, I don't think I don't know.
I like that.
That's aggressive. This is another one that I found on Twitter of Bam just grappling. He's at the bottom of your screen here if you're watching on YouTube. He's grappling with Derek Jones Jr. and just sort of yanks his arm around and then just it doesn't look pretty. I think this was equal Derek Jones, but like he just has nowhere to go. Like he tries to turn around and Bam doesn't let it go. So I don't think this was like completely Bam, but like there's a line where physicality meets dangerous, and the Heat ride that line very tightly. That's the way I'll phrase it. Like it's, I mean, this was a reason that I think you and some other, or not you, but some of the people on the round table were like, I don't want to play the Heat. I think this was Bobby's thing. Like, I just don't want the Celtics to get hurt.
I don't want them to injure our team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good take. Yeah, I saw a ton of like Reddit comments, Reddit posts about, this is why this is why people say the Heat are the team nobody wants to see. This is why.
Definitely.
Quote from Udonis Haslem, Instagram comments. Shut yo sucka ass up, 2 exclamation points. He got pushed. Brian weak ass. Capital W, 2 exclamation points.
Weird. I mean, I disagree with Scal and the Caleb Martin thing after watching the replay, but the Heat do ride the line. Andrew Claudio, by the way, I found his tweet. Finally giving up trying to defend the indefensible, which is that Bam Adebayo is a dirty player. It's a correct call. Like, it's just, bro, trust me, you tried looking for gainful employment, but keep getting stuck on Bam illegal screens. It's hard out there. I just went back and forth with a Heat player. I'm like, or a Heat, Twitter person.
Heat fan,
I'm trying to find it. Let's see. Can't make this up. Oh, okay. I found the root of it. Sorry. I just know that he has been on this train for a while, and I wanted to find it and take a look. This was Bam Adebayo. Stepping into Brunson. Do you think this was intentional? Just
no.
tripping Brunson.
I don't really think so. His back's turned and he makes a step towards the ball.
He can see. He's looking though.
All right, so
this is tough. This is
what I'm going to say about this.
Bam trips Brunson, by the way, audio listeners.
Knicks fans are massive pain in the ass crybabies, but
sure.
If there is enough chatter about this going around where it's like Bam might like to try and hurt people, and then it's happening for a significant period of time in several different instances, it's not nothing.
Yeah. So he goes totally normal winning play, and he tags a Heat person who I assume he's had beef with in the past. And the Heat person says, "If you want to keep embarrassing yourself, fine by me." Some weird,
Wow, Bam Adebayo
yeah.
has feet.
just weird stuff like that. Andrew said, yes, because consistently defending a dirty player isn't embarrassing. Got it. Bet you can't find a single player in the league who'd call Bam dirty, et cetera, et cetera. Trust me, we've tried looking for employment, but keep getting stuck on Bam illegal screens. It's just a lot of back and forth between shit. But I will say, whether or not Bam is a dirty player, I don't think is like you can argue. I don't think he's necessarily out there trying to hurt people. He sets a lot of fucking illegal screens. All of his screens are illegal. Every single Bam Adebayo screen is illegal. It's just that's just a fact. I do think there's a difference between dirty and like physical. Like, I don't think Bam Adebayo is out there trying to actively like hurt other players. I don't think there are many players in league history who actively do that, right? I just don't think. Sure, yeah, like that's why I said not.
By the way,
that's why I said not many. I don't think the Heat have any players who actively
Wayne
try to hurt
Wade?
people. I just don't think that's fair. No, I don't think like consistently, like maybe in moments, but I don't think I just don't think people players do that. He rides the line of physicality though. Like the illegal screens are a lot. We'll say a lot.
Good work. We got 16 minutes out of this.
That we did. All right. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Speaking of the Heat, Shams Charania of The Athletic. Yes, Jimmy Butler ain't coming back. You put this on the sheet. I saw it too, but I'll let you head into this.
Shams did one of his breaking news Twitter posts where he sends out important information but doesn't actually write it up. So he put out a clip of him talking on FanDuel TV, and this is what he had to say. It's crazy to me that Jimmy Butler played 3 quarters with what I'm hearing now was a severe MCL sprain. He is not going to be back in this series. So people like Jack, who are shivering cowards and were convinced that he was going to show up with some black magic, have nothing to worry about.
You're a piece of shit. Listen, I still give it like a 5% chance that he comes back. I'm still not ruling it out. I still refuse. And that's not indicative of my belief of the Celtics in the series. That's not indicative of, this black magic. I was more confident than Sam going into the series. So this is a bunch of horse shit. But I just think it's Jimmy Butler. Like he loves to play. He loves to play through shit. And I don't know. Also, for what it's worth, just doubling back on the Heat dirty thing. We did have a commenters today. We will play dirty all series and continue to try to injure your key players. Almost got it done in game 1. Go Heat. There you go.
If I was the Heat / fan of the Heat, I would lean into it too. I'd be like, watch out. You better sit Jayson Tatum. He's leaving on a stretcher. Watch out.
He can't do that. But yeah, Jimmy doesn't sound like Jimmy's coming back, which I mean, you could so blatantly see how much the Heat missed Jimmy in game 1 because they had no offensive creation. And it was a huge credit to the Celtics defense, but not having Jimmy was a huge blow because the only real offensive creator on that team outside of Jimmy is Tyler Hero, and they shut that shit down. Not having Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier in the series just completely stalls the Heat's offense. I still think the Celtics would be fine if those guys were available, but like with them not available, the Celtics are just able to play a style of defense that prevents Tyler Hero from creating, and just like the Heat have to run through Bam Adebayo contested middies and post ups, and Jaime Jaquez driving into traffic and trying to make something happen. Like that's just not going to win you many games. So credit to the Celtics for the defense, but they really miss Jimmy, and they're not getting him back.
I know we talked about this on the recap. Everything Miami got was difficult, and not only was it difficult, the very limited amount of creation that players like Jaime Jaquez and Bam are able to do is all in the mid-range. I am the biggest advocate of the mid-range. Nobody was more excited watching Tatum drill mid-range jumpers from the half circle yesterday. But if Miami's offense is only going to come from that area, you live with it. You're absolutely fine with it. Phoenix is elite at playing that sort of offense, and they still lose games because they're just not doing well in math. They're just not. So if Miami is going to take difficult, bad math shots, you absolutely live with it. And I wasn't really convinced Jimmy was going to play, but yeah, he's not playing. Shout out Shams for giving us the news, but making us work for it.
Yeah. He'll always make you work for it. All right.
Shams.
Next thing, Paul Pierce called Jayson Tatum the best American-born player in the league. We can watch the clip, we can react to it, et cetera, et cetera. But this was on KG Certified, I believe.
Hell yes.
And this is what he had to say about Tatum.
I love the above knee shorts from the Truth. I can't wait. You're muted.
I mean, I think Jayson Tatum and the Boston Celtics got to win the championship this year.
I agree.
I mean, they're the favorite. They've had breaks in the playoffs. I believe he will be the face of the league. Best American-born player today. Really? Today. Yeah, I think he's the best American right now. Tatum. And I think
he's right.
Get the critics off his back, so I'm going with him. I mean,
I'm surprised KG's even like surprised at this. I feel like this is pretty obvious.
I think Ant has a case. I don't think he's there yet, but I think it's coming. Like I think it could happen. Like Ant is that guy. But outside of that, like maybe like he's still saying like Bron, KD, Steph, like that's where his head's at. Like those three are still up there. Like I could get there from that perspective.
Does
also,
the
I just
Ringer have their
comment,
top 100 up? I'm gonna pull it up while you talk.
This comment was insane. I just wanted to show this too. Like people were hating in the comments, and somebody pulled up this picture. Yeah, I'm so sure. LOL, and it's Tatum from the commercial. Nah, playoff Jason is not a thing. Brother, that was the whole fucking commercial. Like, are you stupid? You're a fucking idiot. Like, they had every player in the league say that line. Like, what is wrong with you?
But the Ringer only has Kawhi above Tatum, and Embiid too, if you want to count people playing on Team USA. But Kawhi is the only one. Tatum is 7, Kawhi 6, Embiid 5, Shea Canada 4, Giannis Greece, Luka, Slovenia, and Jokic.
I don't think Kawhi's better than Tatum.
I would probably agree, but that's just like a popular site that ranks and isn't outrageous with their rankings.
I think that's whack. Yeah, I'm looking through this now. They have Ant at 14, Jimmy at 15, they have Brunson up there at 13. When's the next Celtic on this list? What the hell? Jalen at 25.
It's not that crazy.
Sabonis, Bam, and De'Aaron Fox and Paul George above him.
Okay, yeah. Sabonis and Bam, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
is Saint Pritchard better than Tyler Hero?
No, I don't.
It's close, right?
I don't think so, but I get it. But no, he's not.
I was laughing so hard tweeting that, and one guy actually got mad at me. He was like, "Don't tweet this." Blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I kind of do feel it might be true, but also it is a shit post.
Celtics have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the top 100. And for Marcus Smart, he was 87th. Their little description is the beating heart of the Boston Celtics is now the wise veteran of the Christmas team. It's like, dude, what is wrong? Why is that the intro for Marcus? But yeah, Paul Pierce all in on Tatum. Agree that they have to win a title. I think it's going to be Tatum and Ant for a while now. Ant is that motherfucker. He is nasty. So respect to that. But right now, like I think it is not a hot take at all to say Tatum is the best American-born player.
Me neither.
Yeah. I think
that's why I was kind of like, why is KG confused? Is he just like, like?
Yeah, that's right there.
Well, I guess you're right. Like, I guess when you first hear that without like having discussed it before, because I know we've had to kick it around on the show before. It's like,
Well, I think part of it is like when you think of best American-born player, you think like, oh, that's like a top 2-3 player in the league, but it's not really because there's like 7 different international guys who are up there. So credit.
It reminds me of that meme that Cam tweeted out during the game yesterday, where it was Joe Mazzulla and then Joe Mazzulla progressively getting intrigued and then smiling.
Do you know the context of that?
It's the Taylor sitting
Yeah.
wall sit. Yeah.
Very funny. All right. Let's jump on over to the email here.
Pull them up.
See what y'all have to say in the email. We appreciate the lots of emails that we did get for this.
Thank you.
But let's take a look. Yeah, thank you very much. Excuse me. Let's take a look. All right. First one from Philip. As it should be. Hey, fellas. Joe is the warrior intellectual coach Boston needs. We were truly lucky. This is from a couple days ago. When you guys were wondering how some fans can still hate Joe, a light bulb went off in my head. I'm glad Joe gets hate. If you ever deep dive into something for a long enough time, you will know the most popular things are rarely the best. This is true in music, food, film, business, podcast. Shout out to HBTC. Thank you. Those that break the mold upset those who see the world in molds, most of whom are fans. Joe sees the game differently. He challenges conventions. Joe himself is different. Of course, some people are going to hate him. That's exactly as it should be. Thoughts? All the best, Phil. Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, like I get it and it makes sense. So yeah, I see.
I also think Joe probably loves that people hate him.
Yes.
Probably
Agree.
gets him going. Gets up in the mornings like, fuck everybody.
Agree.
I'm going to go do some jujitsu, watch some film, and then play a bunch of arena sounds at the practice facility. Let's get it.
Shout out Joe. Shout out Joe. What a beast.
The man.
Next email. We got Dr. Gordillo. Is that how you say it? Heat fan here. Nice streamcasting, fellas. Miami is obviously unlikely to win the upcoming series. Our fan base position may be trending towards the obvious one. No pressure on us. All pressure on you before game 1.
True.
On that no pressure angle, if we can steal one of the first 2 games and cause Boston sports media to self-immolate, implode for 48 hours, it'd be awesome. Go Boston. Our spitely delusion is that we've arrived. We've been put on this good earth to boil and twist your intestines for 5 to 6 games before you move on to round 2. However, to clarify the limited extent of my spite, I'll be rooting for any East team in the finals. Might as well be the Celtics, as no other East team makes sense against the Western powers. No bones about it. Way more tired of the West than Boston or New York, for that matter. MG. Shout out MG. Thanks for finding us. And
so this is funny because the third sentence here, the no pressure angle, and if they can steal one of the first 2 games, I felt that immediately. I was like, I think I even mentioned in my Celtics blog write-up of the game yesterday, I was like, yeah, like shout out to these guys for winning the game and not letting media be like, what if watch out for the Heat. Watch out for the Heat. They're going to beat the Celtics. So shout out to the Celtics for going on a 14-0 run and then winning wire to wire and being up double digits the entire second half. Thank you.
Agree. Shout out to Boston. Thanks for the email. We appreciate it.
Feel free to continue to email unless it's me.
Even if it's me, we don't care.
After a loss, I'll probably get mad.
What's poppin'? Win at home. Afternoon, guys. How's your heart rate, Sam? Lots of people try to make lots of hot takes out of the Miami fourth quarter surge. We're here for the things to remember. Locked in Celtics versus Heat. Looks like the C's wiping out everyone they ever put on a 40-point hurting this year. Whoever's on the floor for the Celtics has to play locked in basketball. The only thing that beats this team is when the Celtics half-ass it. First minute of the game, last minute of the game, doesn't matter. Joe's got more teaching he can do, so he'll be happy. This is true. He said that after the game. Finally, all of the Celtics PTSD-laden fandom can take a deep breath and remember that this was a 20-point win, not a loss. Be well, and let's win this thing, RJ. Agreed.
You know what's funny is RJ sent this before Talking C's.
Yes, and then everyone got mad at the Celtics in Talking C's, which is insane to me.
Yeah, the comments were unbelievably negative.
Insane. It's just, I don't get it.
And I love to be negative, and it makes for good content. But yesterday was just not the day. They won by 20. That was wire to wire. They were up 34 points, and they completely controlled the game. Everything was hard for Miami. Like anything that you would want to nitpick, it's very tough. Like the guy was saying Tatum was 1 of 8 from 3. Sure. Like, I mean, that's my favorite drum to bang is he probably shoots too many threes and doesn't make enough of them train. But like even the collapse and stuff, like, I don't know, like Miami shot unbelievably well, and they were open and they had open cuts, but they shot like 13 of 14 to get within 14 points.
Yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't worry me at all. Next email from Michael Hilly. F the Heat. They are dirty diapers. What's poppin', guys? Gonna try to email more regularly. I don't always get to make the live podcast anymore with my work schedule changing. Anyways, wanted to ask some fun niche questions about game 1. Shout out Michael Hilly. Thank you very much. Obviously, the Celtics are the best 3-point shooting team in the league, but shooting that well isn't sustainable. Do you think the Celtics will look at other ways to score, most likely more post-ups, or do you think they will live and die by the three? I think the Celtics have not been living and dying by the three this year. I think in the games where they haven't shot well, they have gone to post-ups, and you say it's not sustainable, but they shot 40% from three on the season. So I think it is more sustainable than people want to believe.
This team, as Jack said, feels significantly less live by the three, die by the three than last year. They do shoot the most threes in the league, but they also shoot the highest percentage in the league. So I'm absolutely okay with them shooting threes. And a lot of the threes that they get, see the late first, early second quarter yesterday, are good looks. They rushed a lot of shots against the zone when Miami first rolled it out, but they were still open and they were still coming from shooters that you want shooting the ball. Second quarter, Sam Hauser is just open every time, somehow. So if those are the shots the Celtics are getting, take $1 billion.
Agree. Couldn't agree more. Next question. Also, the annoying random players are showing their colors, and surprisingly, it isn't Hawkes. He was getting cooked. Do you think DeLon Wright continues to be the annoying Celtics killer, or do you think they will use Jovic or Hawkins instead? I know your take, Sam, of don't let him get hot. How are we calling him a Celtics killer when he nailed 5 threes to cut the lead to 14? Like, come on. Like, it's
I don't think he's a
I can't
Celtics
get
killer.
on forward.
He may be the watch out for the next Heat culture inbred that is going to light you up, but aside from that, I don't love that he made 5 of 5 and probably feels pretty good about himself going into game 2 and will be more likely to fire and hit. But besides that, sure, it's DeLon Wright. It's not like Tyler Hero caught fire either. I think that would be a little bit more alarming if Tyler Hero
For what
all of
it's
a sudden
worth,
sees 4 threes going in a row.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, he played in 47 games this year, some with the Heat, some not. He made more than 1 3 in a game 5 times. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not.
You just let him do it.
I'm not worried. Like, I don't know. That's fine.
I love. Well, I'm in the boat with you right now because they just killed them in game 1, but I love the not worried.
No.
Especially after being like, what if they lose all week? Like,
Mm.
I almost threw my entire betting account onto Heat series money line before the series just to be
That's
like,
insane.
okay, I'll win significant amount of money if the Celtics.
Next question. We saw a tight but obvious rotation game 1, but with the bench guys only being Horford, Pritchard, and Hauser. Do you think we go any deeper in the bench the next game, or is there only in case of emergency? My bet is on the latter. I think if Luke's healthy again, maybe you see some spot minutes, but I think what you saw in game 1 is what you're going to get for most of the playoffs. Like, I think you're just going to get the 8-man rotation.
So next game, yes. Game 3, yes. Game 4, I hope they spread it out if they are up 3-0. This is a
Sure.
semi-serious question where, I mean, do you rest guys in game 4?
Coming from you, this is crazy.
And this is the playoffs. They win, I feel amazing. They lose, I think the world's ending. But like,
that's what I'm saying.
Taking everything we saw in game 1, Celtics destroy them when the game was close. They were up so much that it didn't even matter when Miami made a push. And then once the game was out of hand, but still kind of close enough to have the starters in, the starters were having their health at risk. So do you like sit Porzingis for game 4 in Miami?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We're very far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think they'll sit anybody, but that's just my opinion. I think it's all right. We'll see though. Next one. I hate the Heat fans so much. They talk so much trash all season and use excuses when they lose. Do you think the Heat have moved up a tier, possibly the Celtics' second biggest rival next to the Lakers, or do they have some ground to catch? And if so, what team is that? Historically, the Lakers are obviously the biggest rival, but right now, actively in the NBA, like just in the scope of the last few seasons, the Heat are the biggest rival the Celtics have. It's unquestioned.
The most recent Celtics blog, Celtics Hater Power Rankings Index, Lakers 1, Heat 2, Sixers 3, Bucks 4, Knicks 5, Mavericks 6, Warriors 7. So yes.
Yeah. Heat Celtics is the biggest rivalry in the NBA over the last decade. And I don't think that is up for debate.
No, they play each other a billion times in the playoffs.
Exactly. Like it just isn't. Obviously,
it spans across multiple generations.
Yeah, and the historical like significance of Celtics Lakers will almost always have that above Celtics Heat, but like last 20 years, it's Celtics Heat, and then the next is like it's just not close. Like it's just Celtics Heat, huge rivalry, 100%. And that's respect to the Heat. They've been a good fucking team for the last
Fucking
2
hate
decades. Exactly.
Especially Tyler Hero. Did you see his outfit yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Stolen valor.
Last one. Also, if you're a viewer watching this, why haven't you liked the pod yet? There's usually like 30 people watching and only 10 likes. Step it up. These guys are decorated podcast hosts. Long live HBTC. Long live Michael Petrus, aka the GOAT. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
You're a
Michael.
beast. We appreciate you.
Are you like Michael Malone that wants to be called Michael? Or
Yeah.
Are you also okay with Mike?
Let us know. Also, how are you not spelling Michael Petrus's name right? What are you doing? Come on, man.
I like how Grammarly is like, hey, just in case you didn't know, dumbass, this is what this word is.
Mm-hmm.
A
Next
masculine
email.
given name.
My God. From Michael
Save this
again.
one for last. Save this one for
Okay,
last.
we'll leave this and we'll bleed into the next thing. RJ, what's popping? Where's Luke? Evening, guys. Dumb question time. I just got a set of the 23-24 Celtics basketball cards on eBay seller, and it was a good collection. It even included mid-season trades like Springer and Tillman, but oddly no Luke. And apparently Luke doesn't seem to be in many previous card sets like at all. Does anyone know why this is? Like I said, dumb question. Be well, RJ, who would totally get a Celtics blog trading cards. Jesus.
That's actually a really good question. This is not a dumb question because what if there's like beef with him and
I
like
have no idea.
Prism or Topps, whoever's making the cards that you're buying?
So
he's in the video game, so it's not something weird like that.
Yeah, I have no.
He actually has a decent 2K rating. He's about 75, 76.
No idea. Luke Cornett basketball. He does have a good rating. Luke Cornett basketball card. I don't see any Luke Cornett basketball cards since his rookie.
You need to ask him about this. Keep it in your back pocket, right in the little manifesto book.
I'm not going to ask him during the playoffs.
Well, what if like you run into him or something?
I'll keep it in the back of the mind, but I have no idea. Yeah, that's very weird. Celtics team trading card pack.
This is fascinating to me. What a weird thing to be like, fuck you guys. You can't have me.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyways, last email, and we'll jump back to Michael's. What's popping the ADA lineup? Morning, guys. Spirited Monday talking seas. So some quick takes from the beat down on Sunday. The focus locked in Celtics played like the best team in the league against an 8 seed. Playing consistently good basketball is boring for JT. KP's post-game quotes made him sound like a playoff veteran. Al seemed to be trying to wake people up in the fourth quarter. All in all, solid win, leaving me with one suggestion for improved performance. Since everyone seems to accept it as human nature that if you are up a lot, you will coast, I suggest the C's put together an 8-8 lineup. No, not Americans with Disabilities Act, the anti-dicking around squad. The guys who take the floor to either maintain or reestablish the focus needed to keep the game on an even keel. So 1 or 2 3-pointers doesn't turn into giving up a Dean Wade or DeLon Wright style spurt. Don't put them in the same category.
Well,
no.
I did think Dean Wade a little bit yesterday. Not significantly, but I was
close, but it wasn't close.
That's the thing. It was far enough away
close.
Where I was like, like I don't know if I should worry yet, but I was like, I thought about that with Dean Wade.
Who is on the ADA squad? I imagine T. White, Horford, and KP would be helpful. Pritchard has a real song ADA vibe, but you get the idea.
Springer.
What are your thoughts? Be well, and let's win this thing. See, but you need a balance of good enough to keep the lead and plays hard enough.
Well, that's where like Derek White comes in and Porzingis. I think if you put Derek White's like
Pritchard has to be in it.
Small forward. Pritchard
has to be in it.
Springer's a good piece.
Springer's just so useless. No, respectfully, he's
not a very good offensive player. But we talked
defense,
about this in the last stretch of the season. They were throwing him out there at the end of quarters just so they would get stops.
Maybe like Pritchard, Springer, but if you have those two, then you can't have D. White. You can't have 3. You can't have 3, 6.
Derek White's what, 6'4", 6'5"? He could play like a small forward.
But he's so skinny. He can't play small forward. I think it would have to be Pritchard, Springer. I think you should just lean into the bench. I think you should Pritchard, Springer, Hauser, Brissett,
O'Shea?
Tillman. Yeah, I think you just lean in and play those guys. Maybe throw Svi out there, but then you run the risk of the Heat just having significantly more talent on the floor. I don't know. I think it's.
I'm not convinced that Pritchard's not the best guy on the Heat.
You're an idiot. Next, all right, let's go to the NBA section and we can lead.
No, Michael, pull up his email.
So if you let me finish my sentence, I was going to say, let's go to the NBA section and we can lead in with Michael's email. So,
well, you sound like you're about to close the emails.
I literally just said, and we can lead, and then you're coming
All right.
Let's go NBA section. Lead in with what Michael had to say. I'll switch the brand to the NBA. Michael said, other playoff games, strange takes. What's poppin'? Just finished watching the Thunder Pelicans game. Aside from the fact that there wasn't many close games, still happy we are in playoff mode. Just want to share some of my takes I got from the games this weekend. Let's go one by one. We'll give.
You want to give
one
ours
hot
in this
take.
too?
Let's give our one hot take from every game, including Michael's. Do you want to do Michael's first, then ours, or do you want to give ours first?
Let's do ours, and then we'll read his, and we'll give like a little bit of a rundown of what happened in the game if you didn't get to see it. So Cavs Magic, first game of the weekend, maybe the most who cares except for all of us Celtics fans who have to play the winner in the second round, but most who cares series of the whole bunch. No commentary for the first minute, which was fun because it was just all crowd noise. Yeah, like they had broadcast issues. So this game was one that was mostly all Cavs. Orlando couldn't buy a basket. They looked pathetic. And it was low scoring, yet Cleveland seemed to dominate. And yeah, I was disappointed what I saw from Orlando. I thought they'd be a little bit better. Apparently, all the point guards went 0 of 17 combined.
Oh my God. They did. That's insane. No, it was Gary Harris, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, but yes.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, what's the hot take from this one for you?
Hot take from this one is maybe I wasn't very wrong about the Cavs. They're just going to come out strong. But I still feel like if the Cavs get punched in the face, I don't know if they're going to get punched back. Orlando never really put together any impressive stretch in this game.
They made it close in the fourth.
It was what, 8 points?
Sorry, the third. They got it to within 4 in the third.
Okay. All right. Because in the fourth, I turned it back on. I think I was playing an MLB game, and I looked over, and it was 8. And then I went and brushed my teeth, and it was all of a sudden 14 again.
Yeah. My biggest thing from this game is I think I underrated the importance of having, for lack of a better term, like an electric scorer. Like Donovan Mitchell was just the best player on the floor because he is the only one who could like score the ball. Like having a guy like Tatum or Brown or whoever on the Celtics, right? Having a guy like Jimmy who's out for the Heat, having a guy like KD or Anthony Edwards, like you need that. And as good as Paolo is right now, I don't think he's at that level yet in terms of consistent, like efficient scoring. And Donovan Mitchell is. And so I think that was an underrated thing. And I don't know. I think it'll still be a series. Like I don't think the Cavs are just going to sweep them, but I do think that is much more significant than I thought and might make me lean more towards Cleveland.
Hottest take from me.
The offense thing was different.
Are we sure Franz is any good? He was awful. He missed all the shots.
Yeah. One bad game isn't indicative of good or bad.
Lights are too bright.
Yeah. Sam, he shot 7 of 15.
Well, he missed a lot when the game was like within reach.
He shot 7. He was like one of the most efficient scorers on the team. And Sam's like, this guy kind of.
What did he shoot from 3?
2 of 6, not great, but like it's still like better than almost all of his teammates.
I just remember him being bad. Like I watched and I didn't think he was very good.
All right. Michael said Magic need more scoring. They couldn't buy a bucket if they were giving it away. Franz needs to work with Drew Hanlon to fix his broken shot, so I guess he's there. And then Cavs are also washed. I think both these meetings are pretty bad. Yeah. Next one.
That was like another takeaway from this is like, so he's get to play this series.
Yeah. You got to get through Miami. Next one. Also, flights to Cleveland would be very nice. I would have to spend far less money. All right. Next one. Wolves Suns, Sam. So in this game, it was close through like the first, I would say half-ish, maybe first quarter and a half. And then the Wolves just completely stifled everything Phoenix was trying to do. Great defense. Anthony Edwards was scoring on everything. Rudy Gobert actually looked useful in the playoffs, which is not
16 rebounds.
Yeah, that usually happens. And so by the second half, like fourth quarter, they were just killing them. So Wolves look really good in this series. A lot of people picked Phoenix in this one. I know we didn't, but like, I don't know. What was your biggest hot take from this game?
Good luck if you're a Phoenix. Phoenix is cooked, I think. I just don't think they have the depth. Kind of sucks when you don't have any players or calculators. It's tough to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my biggest takeaway or hot take is Anthony Edwards a motherfucker. That dude is so good. Like I keep saying it, like he's probably a top 10 player in the league right now. Like he's fucking nasty. Like he is far better and far more impressive in the playoffs than I anticipated. So credit to him. It goes back to the Donovan Mitchell thing I said. Like, you need a guy like that, and he's that motherfucking guy. Like, he's good.
It's true, and it helps Minnesota be better in a situation like this because now you don't have to rely on Cat.
Yeah. Yes. And Cat was fine in this game too. He just didn't have to do much because Ant was
correct.
And also getting 18 off the bench from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like, head and hands.
I'd be mad as fuck, dude. If
also,
we almost got that at the Garden this year when they played here. He made a big shot.
But
he had a big fourth quarter.
When the Suns are grabbing, or excuse me, the Timberwolves are grabbing 13 offensive rebounds and 6 from Rudy. Like, you can't do shit. You're just cooked. You're just done. But yeah, Rudy actually looked really, really, really good in this game. Next, also Michael said,
email is
close
off
the email.
Screen, by the way.
I took it off. I didn't mean to close the tab though. I just meant to take it off the screen. Michael on Wolves Suns said Suns might be the most overrated super team in NBA history besides the Nets with KG and Pierce. Naz Reid is better than Cat. Anthony Edwards might be the most fun player to watch in the NBA. Naz Reid might be better than Cat.
Naz Reid rules.
Naz Reid's awesome.
Remember when they were going to trade Pritchard for him?
Reid.
Not really, but it was like one of the Cat figures that actually worked.
Dude, he's like a cult hero.
They had a Naz Reid towel day. He was at WrestleMania. They had a towel.
I know, it's insane. Like, they started chanting. They were like, during the game, there was chants. It was Naz Reid, Naz Reid. I was like, what the fuck? It's insane.
Good for them.
Next
That's
one,
fun.
Knicks Sixers. Sam, my legacy on the line.
This was a huge game. So I'm going to do a little pre-rat list with this. You'll get a little rat list in the middle of the episode. Kaylin and I went out to dinner, and we go to this Jamaican restaurant, and they have the game on. That was a lifesaver because it took like 2 hours to get our fucking food. So I had plenty of time to watch this game. We got there at like the beginning of the second quarter, and we left as it was ending. Do you know how long that is?
It's very long.
But anyways, I'm not convinced that Knicks fans should be feeling great about that. Like, you got a miracle close from Josh Hart, who caught fire, scorched earth, became prime take your pick legendary player at the end of the game. Joel Embiid had everybody think that he died after he probably pulled off the sickest dunk in playoff history.
It was cool.
Something straight out of 2K. He threw it up the backboard and caught OG Anunoby for a poster, but then immediately fell to the ground. And everybody was like, he needs to have his leg amputated. Imagine Scal on that call.
It's almost like he's not healthy. It's almost like someone said he's not healthy.
all the reports after the game was that he feels good, which is like, what else are they going to report? But the speculation, and I know you saw this, was that he's wearing a brace and cut his knee. And that is why he had to leave the floor.
He felt so good that he shot 2 of 11 in the second half. Yeah, it's great.
He made,
felt so good that he shot like shit.
And despite all of that, they still should have won. They kind of blew this one.
Well,
I mean, that's what the Sixers do.
You could say that from both sides, though. Like, I mean, I told you Embiid would get gas in the second half, and I know he got hurt, but like, he did in fact get gas in the second half. Mitchell Robinson defended him really well. And as much as you can say, like, they should have won this one, I don't think Jalen Brunson plays this shit for the entire series either. Like,
he probably doesn't. I don't really think it was a whole lot of, oh, wow, they locked him up. No, Jalen Brunson missed a lot of those little in-lane turnaround jumpers that he usually hits. To compensate for that, Deuce McBride played like an all-NBA guard, and so did Josh Hart in the clutch. But with game 2 being tonight, we're not going to have it in this pod just because by the time it's all wrapped up and everything, it's kind of too late to be putting in new content if it's not the Celtics. Tyrese Maxey's going to be sick, but my hot take is
he out?
No.
But he's
okay. I mean, we saw Nemi be sick in that G League final.
I still think the Knicks win in 5. I still stand on what I said.
They might,
Sixers,
but
I think this is going to be.
This is a big game.
I think this is a Lakers, Nuggets, and or Celtics, Nets level, like 4 or 5 game series where every game is close, but the Knicks win every game.
I mean, Philly has a bad track record with close games. Good in the first round,
dude, but Embiid came out hot, and I get he got hurt, but like, I don't like. Yeah,
official take is
he is hurt.
Knicks shouldn't be feeling as good as a regular team would up 1-0 because I think Philly played pretty well despite Embiid
and
being
still
out.
lost. And the Knicks played like the same thing you could say with
They
Brunson.
still lost, but they were able to dig themselves out of a massive deficit.
But I think the
And
same things you're saying about Philly, you can say the exact same things about New York. The exact same things, bar for bar.
no, they had a good close to the game. Like they do. And maybe it's more of what you're saying where the series will be tightly contested games, but I don't think it's going to be easy for the Knicks. And I think we're on the same page for that.
But I don't
Whether or
think
not
it's
they
been
finish
easy.
off games is up for debate.
But I'm just saying, like everything you're saying, like I don't know Knicks fans. It's like you could say the same thing about Philly because Brunson also had what might be his worst game in the playoffs in Game 1. Like
Sure.
everything we're saying about Embiid, like they Maxey played out of his mind.
That's the point of this is a hot take after watching one game.
Yeah, my hot take is I still think the Knicks win this in 4 or 5 games.
That's
Like
fine.
I don't believe in Philly at all. Like I don't. Everything we saw, like nah, I'm out. All right. Next, Michael had to say Embiid cooked. He just looks hurt out there. Yep. Batum might be a fraud. Oubre is sexy. I had a hard time paying attention to this game. And Josh Hart is the greatest rebounder of all time. Yes, better than Andre Drummond. That is one thing Josh Hart can continue to do is dominate.
Well, the Knicks really hustle.
Exactly. Yes. That's what they do. All right. Brunson also had 5 offensive rebounds, which is just infuriating if you're a Sixers fan. Next one, Lakers Nuggets. The Lakers did everything they possibly could to win this game in the first half, and it just didn't fucking matter.
I wish I had a broom.
It just didn't matter. Yeah, that's the hot take. The hot take is broom time. Like AD and LeBron played great.
Goodbye.
Doesn't
We
matter.
just got a bonus email.
We did. Should we read that now quick?
Fan 60 plus years from Michael Karasek. Fan of 60 plus years, and it is more fun with you guys. Don't remember criticizing Bird's team when they won. Just saying.
Shout out Michael. Michael knows. He gets it. Thanks
Thank you for
the
saying we
email.
make it fun.
We appreciate you. Thank you very much for the email. Live email on the show. Yeah, I don't think there's any other hot take other than the Lakers are cooked. I think that's the hot
Fuck
take.
the Lakers. The role players in Denver. Also, Michael Porter doing a great job of playing through controversy. Didn't let it rattle him. Credit.
Yeah, this is you're done. Sorry. Michael had to say, I closed the email again. Michael said, yeah, he said Lakers are cooked. Or excuse me, Nuggets good. Lakers are cooked. They need to trade some of their depth for a stud. Getting everybody. There you go.
Yeah.
Next one,
Trae Young.
Mavs Clippers. I didn't get to watch this game because I was working and doing some writing and stuff.
Yep.
But
Hot take.
what Luka said after the game, hot take, Jason Kidd sucks.
Hot take, Luka gets away with fucking murder.
How
This
so?
dude, because he was, from what I understand, I didn't get to watch a ton of this, atrocious in the first half. Once the game was out of reach, he started to put points in, much like he did against the Celtics earlier this year. Finished with a 34-point triple-double. Also got targeted on defense with switches.
Triple-double.
Was he close?
No, he had 33, 13, and 6.
All right. Well, I saw triple-double on Twitter, so what do I know? But anyways, everyone's like, stats are great, like, can't blame Luka, but he really wasn't in the game until it was over and got killed on defense. Yet Tatum had a 23, 10, and 10 game and got murdered. Everyone was like,
That
this
is
guy's
insane.
the worst. Knicks fans did a Photoshop. I guess bonus for Atlas. Since I had like 6 of them, I'll just burn some of them during this segment. Some Knicks fan went on whatever app it is that like has the stats with like fun hashtags too, and was like, this guy gets so much praise. And it was like Tatum with 23, but instead of like the 10s, they blacked it out and put 2s for assists and rebounds. Like, you literally posted a Photoshop and tried to like roast the guy.
I think I saw it. I thought that was from the Knicks game early in the season, or is that literally just like
that was yesterday? Because all the things said triple double, like the hashtags were triple double.
That's insane behavior. What I heard after the game was Luka being like, "Yeah, we were preparing for them with Kawhi, so we were caught off guard." It's like,
yeah.
Huh?
Sometimes when the team's worse than you expect, it makes you lose.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't get it. I still think the Mavs could be okay in this series. I think they just got to get their head out of their ass.
Sure.
I still think it'll be like a competitive series, but that was not a good looking game.
Yeah, who's
that
to
was
say?
not
I
a
mean,
good look.
if you're a lower seed, you're technically supposed to lose game 1 on the road. Like, if you really want to be like,
It's true.
is Dallas going to be able to compete? You can say yes. I think it's impressive that the Clippers won. I picked them to win this series. I think they're a sneaky team to come out of the West. Like, I'm very high on them because they beat the piss out of the Celtics this year and had a very impressive run throughout this, like a certain stage of the season. So yeah, I think if anything, they can take that away and be kind of confident. But
I saw someone
who knows if
call.
they have the mindset.
I saw someone call Vitor Zubac Zuel Cinder because he played pretty well in this game. But Michael said Clippers might be worth having. That cool new wall arena crap they have going on. Probably not, but they are fun. My career ball ain't cutting it. Why the hell does Luka not have a shooting around him? Gafford, PJ, and Derek Jones in the same lineup. Fire Jason Kidd. That is really bad when you put it that way. that is a tough one. Next one, Bucks Pacers.
This is going to be the most fun. You want a hot take?
Yeah.
This means nothing.
Oh.
I don't think I'm not moved by this because it felt so abnormal when I was like kind of looking at it happen.
Okay.
So the Pacers, all they've done this year is score the basketball. They didn't crack 100. They had 24 points halfway through the second quarter. They looked unbelievably shook of the moment, which doesn't bode well for the rest of the series if you really want to dive into it. However, it's very difficult to imagine them being as ass as they were in the first half yesterday. They were 0 of 12 from 3 at one point. Tyrese Halliburton barely shot the ball. Dame had the most unbelievable half I've ever seen. 35 points, couldn't miss, and then didn't score for the rest of the game. Once the game was already over, he kind of took his foot off the gas and didn't play. And I mean, it was over at the half.
Who was this? Halliburton?
Dame
Okay.
with the 35, then didn't do anything in the second half once the game was already over.
Yeah, I mean, this looks to me, I admittedly, again, didn't get a chance to watch this game because I was doing work, but it looks like the Pacers' style of play just doesn't translate exactly to the playoffs. Halliburton's got to take more than 7 shots.
Correct.
What are we doing? Like, we can't do that in the playoffs. It works in the regular season when you can be like, oh, look at me, I'm Magic Johnson, I just pass. No, you got to fucking score the ball in the playoffs. You're the star. Come on.
Like me, a drooling moron that typically only watches Celtics games, but during the playoffs, I step it up. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that there were several abnormal things that happened yesterday. And it's tough to imagine it being that abnormal for the entire series. Do I think is it going to mean like the Pacers are all of a sudden going to be this superpower of a team? Probably not. But they're also not going to just go out there and get the shit kicked out of them every game. I don't think.
I do. I also think it is like, the playoff commercial, like the haha, there's no playoff Dame,
Yes.
There's no playoff Halliburton. There is playoff Dame. Like, I do think that's a legitimate thing that needs to be taken into account.
Wait till Giannis goes out there and ruins the chemistry.
He does step it up in the playoffs, though, and he was great in this game, even though he was technically the only, he was a -6, which was like weird in a game they won by so many. But I do think there is some significance to having a guy who's been there before, although Siakam put up 36 and 13.
The Bucks are in the same category for me as the Cavs are they a solid team with talent? Yes. Do I think they're going to punch back? Maybe not.
Okay. Sure.
Because the Doc Rivers wrinkle of this and how poorly they played for the entire Doc Rivers era makes it tough to believe any adjustment he makes is going to like change the world for them. But I could be wrong.
Michael said Pacers peaked in the play-in tournament, and so did Halliburton. Middleton, healthy and back to his old self, makes him look dangerous. Pacers, no defense, still even with Pascal, Nesmith, and Turner front court. That is yikes. And yeah, Middleton did look closer to the version of himself that is very good. So that's probably not a good thing.
I mean, say what you want about the defense. They only gave up 109 points.
Yeah, that's not a bad defensive showing. They just couldn't score the ball.
Yeah, like if they play Pacers ball, like it might be
numbers are way down in the playoffs. So
they are.
Like, that is
unbelievably down.
Yeah. Like,
how many teams even cracked 100? 3? 4?
No,
Celtics,
more
Wolves, Pacers,
Bucks.
Nuggets.
Bucks. A lot of teams cracked 100.
Yeah, not Pacers.
A lot of teams cracked 100. Not many cracked 110. I think only 2 cracked 110.
Okay.
Timberwolves.
So
and
yes,
Celtics.
that is very, very skewed scoring for the opening games. Whether it's nerves, I know a lot of former players were like game 1 and game 7 are like the most crazy, different feeling games of the whole playoffs. So sure.
All right, next one. Last one, I should say. Thunder Pelicans. I watched
Best game.
decent amount of this game. It was a great game. I don't know how sustainable the Pelicans' performance is. I think this was Thunder were like a little like, oh, it's playoffs. Let's okay. I do also think there is something to note of Jonas Valanciunas is just out there bullying the Thunder because he's the biggest guy on the court. But I don't know how sustainable the Pelicans, this level of Pelicans competitiveness will be, barring a Zion return. That's my takeaway.
My hot take: that fat fuck needs to get on the bike and get loosened up.
It would
Take
make
the
it
floor.
a great series if he
Yeah.
was there. It would be an awesome series if he could hit the floor.
Official hot take though, non-sarcastic one is Pelicans kind of missed their chance in OKC. OKC had a really, really good home crowd yesterday. These fans have been waiting to watch their team in the playoffs for quite some time. They made the bubble playoffs, but they haven't had in-arena playoffs since Russ left. So they were juiced. The players were probably a bit nervous, having not been there for the majority of them. Like Shea has played, Ludor has played, but besides that, a lot of those guys do not have a ton of playoff experience. Pelicans could have went in there and stole game 1. That's usually what happens with lower teams. Like, just thinking back to the last decade, like Orlando was good for a win over Toronto, like when they had Lowry and DeRozan in the first game of the playoffs. Like, stuff like that happens.
For what it's worth, April 17th, Shams tweeted reevaluation for Zion in 2 weeks. So that's not he's coming back in 2 weeks, but there is a chance by the end of the series that you could get him if the Pelicans can drag it
He
out.
ain't coming back.
No. Michael's takes. Both teams are green and it was great. Best game of the weekend. I don't expect any of these teams to go far unless they can grow up quickly. Shea is clutch as a motherfucker. Very true. And then he says, sorry, I know this was a long but fun one. Wish you both well. Michael Petras is the GOAT. Again, Michael, spell Petras' name right. There's a C. Come on. Biggest fan. Got to spell his name right. All right. Let's jump into the Athletics player poll. We got a long podcast for y'all because there's a lot of NBA stuff to talk about, but it was fun. So let's take a look at the Athletic. They did their yearly NBA player poll where they asked a bunch of NBA players questions about stuff around the league, and we're going to go over it, see what the people had to say. Okay. Here's the poll. You got Rudy, Wemby, and Adam Silver on the cover.
Fuck Adam Silver.
First question. Who is the MVP? Nikola Jokic, 42% of the vote. Shea in second at 37. Luka there at 10. Tatum, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell also all getting.
You know who's not there? Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, it's almost
0.7% of the vote.
Yeah, like
same as Halliburton.
He's not all NBA first team. He's just not. Sorry, Knicks fans.
I don't give a flying fuck who makes any of the teams, but to know Knicks fans care a lot about that, and for it to go wrong for them would be nice.
Yeah, it's
I am surprised to see him this high on the ranking, though.
Who?
Tatum.
I'm not. He's fourth. Like, I think that's fair.
I'm also a little bit surprised of how close it is between Jokic and Shea.
I think it's because Shea got the 1 seed, and as stupid as it was because it was so close, like.
Well, they were competing against each other.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's that. All right, next one. We have some Jokic stuff on each of the voters. I mean, we don't have to read all this shit. I just want to look at the polls.
Fuck about what people.
Who is the best defender?
One quick thing on that. It is mad funny that the description of why they voted for Jokic are very, very to the point and short, and everyone has to like really explain why they voted for Shea in like paragraph form. Literally, someone was like, "He's unstoppable." Like, good enough.
For Jokic, yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah. Who is the best defender? Wembanyama wins 15% of the vote. Drew Holiday in second with 13%. Then you got Lou Dort, Herb Jones, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, Alex Caruso, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jaylen Brown got 1.5%. He was the only other Celtics to get multiple votes. Derek White also got a vote for this as well in terms of Celtics. But yeah, Wemby, rookie season, best defender in the league.
Drew Holiday, no shame in losing to Wemby.
No, none at all. None at all. The fact that it was this close is crazy, and that's not going to be very close for very long. Wembanyama
Most surprising person on this list.
different. Me? Are you asking? Or are you gonna say?
Yeah,
something?
I'm asking.
Oh,
Is it
I don't know
Jalen?
if there's anybody really surprising on this list. No, because Jalen's not high enough for it to be surprising to me. Isaac Okoro maybe, but he is like that is his whole thing.
That's his
is being defensive. The biggest surprise is Nick Batum down here. What are we doing? Respect to Nick Batum, but what the fuck?
I wonder who said that. There should be like certain answers you give that you should have to have your name displayed.
Yeah, Andrew Nemhard is nuts too. Both are good defenders, but like
whoever's collecting the votes, like if you put Nick Batum, it should be like, is that your final answer? And if you click yes, you have to put your name.
I think Rudy being so low is surprising.
Fair.
I think that's disrespectful.
Maybe it's because he's not as versatile as somebody like Wemby. Like Wemby is like a big shot blocking threat, but he can move a little bit.
Yeah, I guess, but like he's below Drew, Lou Dort, Herb Jones, and Jaden McDaniels. Like that's just like you're saying Rudy Gobert's not the best defensive player in his own team. I don't know. Anyways,
McDaniels is picking up.
McDaniels is great. That's not a knock for him, but I think Rudy impacts the rim. Like Rudy does. Like when we all talk about like, oh, Wemby just not like people don't even want to walk in the paint with Wemby. That's what Rudy Gobert did for years. Like just not as not
nobody even
as
wants
high
to
level.
look at the basket with Wemby.
Well, yeah, but that's what Rudy was doing in Utah.
No,
that's what he does in
joking.
Minnesota. It's
I'm
just
joking.
a smaller level. But. All right, next one. You're building a roster from scratch. Who are you going to sign first? 28% said Wemby, 27% said Jokic. They were within 0.7 of each other. Ant, Luka, Shea, and Tatum were the next up.
The fuck Tatum?
Who the fuck picked Paolo Banchero? What are we doing? I don't think Tatum's that
Everybody
crazy.
on the Orlando Magic.
But, yeah, I don't think Tatum's that crazy. But Wemby is the clear answer. The fact that he outdid Jokic already is crazy to me, though. I think that's a little wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, and it's funny that the vote is almost like split between the two of them.
I mean, he averaged 3.6 blocks this season and 1.2 steals. Like that is fucking nuts. Also, others receiving votes: Jared Allen.
Yeah,
Jared Allen.
It all starts with defense.
Jared Allen is wild. Scoot Henderson getting a vote after that season is crazy too. But I guess if you see the vision, you see the vision. Multiple people voting for Paolo is crazy. That's got to be Magic guys. It just has to be Magic players.
Yeah,
because they love each other. That's like the same as Shea. Like, did you watch the Thunder game last night? Do you see them all barking after the game? I love the barking. The barking.
I didn't see the barking.
you don't know the thing
from the Celtics?
You don't know the barking thing?
No.
Oh, the Thunder were doing it all season. They had their equivalent of like Mark D'Amico do it. And they said, wait, and the reporter just goes, I gotta pull it up now. I'm so surprised you haven't seen it.
Pull it up. I'm gonna respond. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep talking. I respond to a little message. Friend asked me for help. Don't worry about it.
That's fine. Let me see. Thunder reporter bark. I'm so surprised you never saw this. This was awesome. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Here is
a bunch of dogs.
So the Thunder have been doing this. Hold up. No. Let me find the Adam Flagler bark first, because the Thunder have been doing this all season. So here's the first one. This is like the Thunder's thing this year, Sam. Like I said, I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet. Let me know when you're looking again.
I'm in.
So here is.
First, we gotta hear it.
Wait for it.
Just
So that's Adam Flagler. He's one of their two-way guys. He's on the OKC Blue team that beat.
Yep. I am aware of him. He had a tremendous game.
But this is a little while later. No, I gotta find the good audio of it. Here's Nick Gallo. Nick Gallo bark. I need to.
They were like, get in.
They bullied him.
Yeah.
They bullied him into doing it. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
The audio's not bad, so I'm just gonna be quiet while it happens.
All right. Yeah.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Like, look at they just like to fuck with him.
Maturity well beyond their years. The Thunder persevered through the 82-game regular season in a grueling Western Conference and emerged as the youngest team ever to secure a #1 seed. And as you'll see in tonight's Sport Fact, they're also the youngest team ever to win 55 or more games. But with that said, OKC is doubling down on its 0-0 mentality. Guys, Shea told me that the regular season is in the past, and now the Thunder is on to a new season, and they've got to be ready for all that entails.
Oh, what the hell? I thought they were gonna do bark. They labeled this as oh, the man. Oh, I see. But yeah, they just had him bark after the game.
No, that's awesome. I am
great.
pro that.
Yeah, it's their thing. The
now, Thunder are officially now my favorite West team.
See? They rock.
Yeah.
They're really awesome. All right, next thing. Who is the league's most overrated player? Well, that answers my question. Rudy Gobert getting a whopping 13.6% of the votes. Jordan Poole, Trae Young, Dylan Brooks, James Harden also up there. Tatum gets 2.5% of the vote. Is he the only Celtic? Jaylen Brown got 1 vote as well. Nobody else on this list. Grant got 1 vote down there. But yeah, Rudy Gobert, Jordan Poole, Trae Young seems like a pretty, I'll say fair 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
This guy
Pat
right
Bev
here.
Trick y'all also there.
Why is Julius Randle so low?
Yeah, too low. Should be #1.
Where's Zach LaVine? Was Zach LaVine? Alex Caruso got a vote. That's crazy.
Did anybody forget? I bet they forgot that Zach LaVine plays.
This is true.
But Ben Simmons is on here.
Ben Simmons is on here. All right. Next one. Notice how only 81 people voted for this. They didn't want to vote. They didn't want to be a part of it. Next one. Who is the league's most underrated player? Derek White, Jalen Williams, tied for top, and Drew Holiday in third. A lot of love for the Celtics guards right here.
Yeah.
A lot of love. Peyton Pritchard also got 1 vote down here in the everybody else vote section.
He's a dog.
But yeah, a lot of people got votes for this because
no
it's
Tatum.
a very broad question. Because he's not underrated. He's like a top 10 player in the league. It's hard to be underrated. Other random names in here: Lester Quinones, Jamal Cain. Who else? Andrew Nembhard got a couple votes. Tumani Kamara got a couple votes. But yeah, Derek White, Drew Holiday.
When you said those other guys, all I could think of is they voted for themselves. But for some reason, I don't think Peyton Pritchard voted for himself.
No, I don't think you can vote for. I don't think you would vote for yourself. I don't think people vote for themselves. Could.
It's anonymous.
Well, in later questions, there's a restriction like what team outside of your own. So I wonder if they were like, you can't say yourself. Like it wouldn't surprise me. Next question is who in the league would you least like to fight? And 54% of the vote.
Good answer. Good answer.
James Johnson. It is funny because like the top 6. James Johnson, Steven Adams, Isaiah Stewart, Joel Embiid, Draymond Green, Giannis, all because like probably they're huge. But I bet you money that Boban Marjanovic is on here just because everyone fucking loves Bobby.
That's true. That's actually a good point.
Like I just think that's like he's so likable. Other guys on here, there's no Celtics. Bruno Fernando, Thanasis, which lie.
Thanasis. Put Thanasis through a wall, dude.
Yeah, it's just James Johnson. Well, there's this clip of James Johnson saying, "I think I can beat John Jones in a fight," which is insane. But yeah, no one wants to fight James Johnson. No one wants to fuck with him.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Jock Lawndale getting a vote for this is interesting. Maybe people just like him too.
Well, no, he's the one that got punched by Isaiah.
No,
I'm sure there's some kind of haha.
That was Drew Eubanks.
Different white guy. My bad.
Yep.
We all look the same.
Next one. Next question. Who is the greatest player of all time? Michael Jordan getting slowly creeped up on by LeBron. Michael Jordan still wins 46%. LeBron in second at 42%. Kobe got just under 10%. Everyone else got like nothing, but Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, and Paul Pierce each got 1 vote as well.
Respect.
Who the fuck?
I'd love to know who voted for Paul Pierce.
Yeah. You had to be a Celtic, right?
Every player that is at the podium, if they win, were you the one that voted for Paul Pierce?
I will not. I will not. You do it. Next time you're here, you do it. Yeah, but would you do it if you go to the game?
Maybe.
Don't lie.
If it was a win, maybe.
Don't lie on the podcast.
Depends.
Don't lie on the podcast.
It would be a read the room thing. I wouldn't guarantee it.
No shot. Next one. But yeah, Jordan and James right there. Next one. What's your favorite arena to play in? Madison Square Garden, number 1, 34%. TD Garden, number 2 at 17%. Crypto.com, 13%. Those were the 3 by landslide. you get it. Like,
who the fuck is getting excited to play in Utah?
I don't know. That is an odd one to be up there.
Yeah.
I will say no one fucks with Minnesota.
Yeah.
I get why Madison Square Garden is up there, and it's less because of like the basketball significance and more because of the like historical significance of the arena in general. So like you get it. But shout out TD Garden, number 2. W.
It should be towards the top. Great
Shut
environment. All the
Agreed.
banners are Garden.
Yeah. So there you go. Next question. Which arena do you least like to play in?
Oh no.
Little Caesars.
Our Pistons catching us straight. Well, nobody wants to play the Pistons. That's why.
By a landslide.
You know what they say? Sometimes it's like, just don't be that team. And if you go to Little Caesars, you may become that team.
TD Garden got 3% of the vote, so they were in there probably because fans are a lot. Madison Square Garden got 1.5. But yeah. No one fucks with Little Caesars. No one fucks with Charlotte, Memphis, Washington, or Utah either. There you go.
Utah, top 5 in both. Right?
Top 5? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 6th and most liked. 5, yeah. Next one. Oh, wait. I want to read some of these. Little Caesars, no fans, no atmosphere at the moment. It's very open. It's got to be packed out for it to stand out. That's just not what it is. Tough. It's quiet, good arena, but quiet for Charlotte. As far as Capital One, very cold. There's no soul to it. Denver's Ball Arena.
Do we
Wyatt
have
7th altitude
investigation? Go back to Ball Arena.
Okay. What?
Oh my God, that team needs to be moved. The altitude is crazy. I don't like it at all. Every time I play there, I'm dog tired. Joel Embiid.
Well, he hasn't had any experience, Sam, so he might not remember.
Well, you know how it is when you like have a distant memory that is very far away. He has not played there since before COVID.
True.
Everything gets turned up a little bit, whether it's good nostalgia or bad nostalgia. You're going to remember a little bit of extra.
By the way, people talking one player about the Celtics or TD Garden, crazy atmosphere, some big sports fans. It's so loud in there. Another said he likes facing the Celtics in Boston because he enjoys playing in the quote hostile environment. So respect. Shout out TD Garden. Next one. Which current coach, aside from your own, would you most want to play for? Eric Spoelstra, number 1 by a mile. Greg Pop up there as well. Joe got a few votes down at the bottom in there. But yeah, mostly just Spoelstra, Pop, Steve Kerr, the guys who've just been doing it. I don't get Doc. It doesn't make sense to me. But which coach besides your own would you least like to play for? Have you seen this one yet? Who's
number 1? Doc is way up at the top.
Nope, it's a landslide number 1 by a mile. Number 1. They don't fuck with Tibbs. They don't fuck with Tibbs.
Oh, I thought Tibbs. Oh, you were on the other one, weren't you? Where Tibbs was at the bottom. Go back up to the what coach would you want to play for?
Yeah, Tibbs was right here.
So I thought this was the list, and I was like, oh, my guess was Tibbs, but I guess he's at the bottom.
No. Tibbs. Okay. Yeah, 47% of the vote. No one fucks with Tibbs. Joe Mazzulla got 1 vote, by the way. Mazzulla got 1 vote. But yeah, it is Tibbs, then Doc. But the gap between Tibbs got 47% of the vote. Doc is in second at 9%. Like, just no one wants to play with Tibbs, which is crazy. But yeah, no one.
Nobody hates like being physically active quite like professional athletes. Like they hate playing games.
Well, I wonder if it's Tibbs because I wonder how much of it goes into it that like Tibbs never played ball himself. Like I wonder if that's what you're respecting.
He never played. He played.
Well, I'm just saying
he didn't
not
play
in
the league.
I'm just saying not at like a super high level. Like I don't.
I think who was I listening to speak about Tibbs? It was somebody on like I want to say Reddit. Maybe it was Bill Simmons.
Never played. He played at Salem State.
You know who it was? I think it was Hurley talking about Tibbs being a very offensive-minded guy when he used to play and didn't play a lick of defense.
Yeah, Sam. Tibbs played at Salem State. For context, Worcester State plays Salem State 3 times a year.
He still played like college ball.
D3.
It's not the highest level of college ball, but it's not like me showing up to coach.
I gotta know what he averaged now. I got.
He was like a Luka machine. Like
he was the captain for 1 season, so I guess, and he did win a league championship.
Yeah,
I guess.
winner.
But anyways, next question. Which team other than your own will win the title this year? Nuggets at 56%, Celtics at 34%. The next up is the Clippers at 2.4. Who the fuck is saying the Kings?
You know what's kind of funny is the Knicks aren't on here.
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I get the whole Knicks meme. Haha. Who the fuck said the Kings? What are we doing? I'm trying to think, Jenny. Like Halliburton. Did Halliburton say the Kings? Like, no, he fucking hates the Kings. Who?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I can't imagine. Like
What
I'm
are we
trying to. There's not even like any like funny. Maybe it was just somebody
Everyone
that's like
else.
journalists.
Everyone else on here: Clippers, Thunder, Bucks, Wolves, Mavs, Lakers. Like you can understand why a player might say that. Come on,
Lakers,
Kings. What are we doing? Next one. Oh wait, this is about the Celtics. When you've got Drew Holiday, the team on a team with Tatum, Brown, who are shot makers, and he's a great defender, obviously, and with Kristaps, they've got danger everywhere and defensively well. Also, their fans make it hard to beat them for sure. Shout out, W. And then about the Nuggets, it's like a factory, plug and play. They play the right way, no matter who's out there. Shout out to Jokic, just like a factory, so sick. All right, and then someone says whoever's coming out of the East is going to lose to the West. What letter grade do you give the referees this season? 3% gave an A, 27% gave a B, 48% gave a C, 13% D, 8% F. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of the refs.
The referees are average. Well, they are C or better more than they are C or below.
This is it. Shit, they don't know if they want us to play or not to play, but they're good people.
But they're good people.
Yeah. It's a different sense
like
of entitlement. It's a different sense of entitlement that they feel. They get a bit more sensitive than they had previously. Some of the missed calls, it's just like, that's not okay. And some of them are blatant, but it's not an easy job. But I've seen better years. But yeah, I don't know. And the people who gave an A, they just make the calls the league wants to make. And so we're just adjusting again. So this isn't even like the refs were good. It's just they're just doing what they're told. Like that's why
the B one is like the nicest one.
I don't think people realize how hard it is. All things considered, they've done a good job. That's not a good job I'd ever want to have. There's still definitely room for growth, but within the job that's what's asked of them, I think they've done a great job. Yeah, fair enough. What letter grade would you give Adam Silver? 46.2 A, 46.9 B, 6.9 C, no D's or F's.
Let's see.
Yeah.
These quotes I'm interested
in. Some of the things he does, we're not going to like, but that's just as the players. We like to complain about shit, but I think what he's doing is great for the league, the in-season tournament, the play-in, all of this to build the luster of the league and to build the TV ratings to make sure we're there in a certain place. So when it comes time for this new TV deal, we can do it. Another said, I'd give him an A. The money's good. The fans are enjoying the games. We've got an in-season tournament that everyone looks forward to now, especially because there's money in the line. I wanted to win. I really wanted to win that in-season tournament. I had some plans for that money for real. Everything is good except the All-Star game. That weekend wasn't great. Other than that, I feel like it's been entertaining. I feel like the league's been real competitive. And then the last quote, the only reason I'm going to give Silver a B and not an A is that I'm not sure the players have the liberty to speak out against referees the way it should be. I do, to a certain extent, understand why that is, because you've got to create a culture of togetherness and you can't just randomly criticize referees and all that stuff. But some of this stuff, especially with refs, they have an ego and they know that. So they act a certain way towards you because they know you'll lose money if you criticize them. Adam's doing a great job of maximizing our money in a great way. There you go. All about the money. Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Not a lick of mention of the jerseys.
I think it's because no one actually gives a shit.
They should care.
Because no one, everyone understands that it has literally zero impact on the way the games are played. It does not matter at all.
Celtics have never won a title wearing green at home.
You're the only person that cares about the jerseys.
Never won white on the road.
Are you in favor or against the 65 game rule? 50% against, 44.8 for, 5% I don't know.
You know, it's funny. I thought it would be far more skewed.
Like people against it?
Yeah, I thought everyone would be against it.
I guess the people, excuse me, who are for it. Do we have quotes?
Probably benefiting from it.
Yeah, I guess 65 games. That gives you a 17 game cushion. I'm all for it. You've got to be out there. Yeah, respect.
Yeah,
fair. But at the same time, like, do you see Dante DiVincenzo wasn't up for most improved because he played in 70 games, but he only played.
Well, Tibbs tried his best to get him the minutes.
But he just played too few games, so Tibbs fucked him early in the season, I guess. Bonus question: who's your favorite current non-NBA athlete? Lamar Jackson overwhelmingly wins 13%. Caitlin Clark second at 6%. Novak Djokovic, Usain Bolt, Pat Mahomes, Mike Tyson, Justin Jefferson.
Who else got votes?
Mike James. Just former
That's
NBA.
KD said that.
Did he?
Definitely said it. Had to.
Probably.
Clay picked his brother.
Oh, is Thompson on here?
Trace Thompson's towards the bottom. I'm just going through looking quick.
Tiger Woods got
that
some
interesting
votes.
of a fucking question, but
yeah, there's nothing like super interesting. Like, yeah,
whatever.
I just want to see if there were any like.
Who's the tennis guy that likes the Celtics?
Oh.
He's on here. I think I saw. Oh, Nick Kyrgios.
Yeah,
Kyrgios.
Kyrgios. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out. One NBA player said Kirk Cousins because he gets paid and doesn't have to win or do anything, and he made $400 million off one playoff win. Legend. That's all time. That's so sick. Okay. Time to pull up another thread, buddy. We're gonna look at the finalists for every single NBA award. Let's take a look, see who is the finalist for these.
Couldn't be more thrilled, even though I put this on the sheet.
Yeah, you made the sheet. You don't get to complain, buddy.
Nah, I mean, when they actually put the finalists out, it's like a little like it has more meaning than like people being like he should be in the conversation. Your tweet calling me out was absolutely correct, but at the same time, it is a little different.
It's not. This is literally what the conversation is.
No, the conversation spans like 10 fucking guys.
Yeah, so you can whittle it down to 3 eventually, but that's the whole point of the conversation is whittling it down to see who the winner is, and that's exactly what this is doing.
This is still stupid.
Sure. Finalists for the MVP award: Luka, Shea, Jokic. I think Jokic should and will win, but I do think it's a lot closer than people think because I mean you just saw the player votes. Like Shea was right there too.
I was surprised how close it was, but Jokic is going to win, and Luka will come
there.
in third.
Depoy, Bam, Gobert, Wemby. Rudy probably going to win, but there's been a big push for Wemby. Yes,
that's for sure.
A lot of people mad.
The reason why I have a problem with this shit is because when we can look at the top 3 and be like, well, it's not going to be him. He's not really in the running.
No, well, he still finished top 3. No, what was I going to say?
I feel like it might go to Gobert.
I think it will, but I think
because that's the top defense and people will be hesitant to be like, well, the Spurs sucked and there's that.
Yeah, but Wemby was the best defensive player of the year. Like he was the best player in the league this year. So I think that's like the dichotomy.
All of the stuff where he had guys turning the opposite way and didn't even want to go in the paint, it's valid.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Lakers fans mad at Anthony Davis, and one made the point of like, look what Anthony Davis is doing with a shit Lakers team, and someone said, well, let me talk. So someone was like,
go ahead.
You're a real motherfucker, you know that.
I said, go ahead. Don't get mad at me for being like, go ahead. I'm like, oh fuck, you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
Someone said, look at what Anthony Davis is doing with nobody on their talent on his team, and someone was like, do you see what? Do you see what the fuck he's doing? Did you see that Spurs team?
Yeah. Like this is the shit that's like stupid. Like, what do you give a fuck if Davis is in that Bam spot? He's still not gonna win.
It's just the recognition. Somebody tweeted like Anthony Davis never winning Defensive Player of the Year is going to be like Spoelstra never winning Coach of the Year, which like I kind of get because like he's been the top defender in the league a lot, but never had that season, I guess. But rookie of the year,
I like Giannis. Like Giannis kind of started out of nowhere, like in the late 2010s, where people thought that was going to be the Davis time for him to win it, and then oh wait, this guy from Greece is really good. Yeah, he wins.
Yeah. Anthony Davis said something about it too. He said, I'll never get it. The league doesn't like me. I'm the best defensive player in the league. I can switch 1 through 5 and guard the pick and roll the best in the league from a big standpoint. I block shots. I don't know what else to do.
Poor guy. He actually played enough games this year too, and
he
did his job.
I know.
Poor guy. He's like, I'm never fucking playing 65 games again.
That was the whole knock, and it is. I understand why. I think he had a better defensive season than Bam. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nope. Rookie of the Year finalists.
Still won't win.
Chet Holmgren, Brandon Miller, Victor Wembanyama. No Jaime Jaquez. This is very surprising to me, but
it is. He's probably like 4th on this. Still wouldn't win. It's really between Chet and Wemby, and if it's Rookie of the Year because with Rookie of the Year you can't even really be like, well, did he win? Because rookies that are high quality typically are drafted by the worst
it's-
team, so it doesn't even matter. It's Wemby.
This could be I think this could be close to a unanimous Wemby.
Yeah.
It is Wemby. Also, for what it's worth, we're wrong. Hawkins averaged 12, 4, and 2.5 on 49, 32.
Miller was good.
I know he averaged 17, 4, and 2 on, or 2.5 on 44.
Don't rope me into that.
It's
I
not
said
close.
He's probably fourth.
Yeah. It's. I saw a lot of Hornets fans mad all season, why the fuck is Brandon Miller getting discounted? So
because nobody gives a fuck about the Hornets.
Next one, Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault, Chris Finch, Jamal Mosley. This is the one you tweeted about, and if you're tweeting about it, that means something's a little egregious. Joe Mazzulla not being top 3 is fucking crazy.
I just thought it was weird because they won all the games.
It's crazy.
I don't think Joe Mazzulla would have won. It's Daigneault's award. He's going to win. He won the coaches poll. He's obviously going to win.
I think it's that doesn't always mean it. That's actually been different.
When's the last time?
I think I know Monty Williams. There was one where Monty won, but then somebody else won.
Okay,
Coach of the Year.
All right, well maybe I'm wrong on that.
It was Bud. It might have been Bud. Actually,
this is one of those things where all season we've been it's going to be Daigneault because Joe is somebody that we've pontificated about. They're winning a lot of games, but this is just not the year. OKC played so far above the expectations we set for them before the season, and he's obviously a big part of that. He's going to get the credit he deserves. So this is a wash for Daigneault.
I want to find the history of that award, but I don't know where to find it. Last year, it was who won the Coach of the Year last year? It was Mike Brown, right?
It was Mike Brown because the Kings overachieved.
I should be able to find this way easier because I don't want to take forever on this, but I do think this is an interesting thing to look at, but I really cannot find this. Mike Brown won it.
I think he was a double last year.
He was double, yeah. I'm just searching custom ranges now just so I can see. But I do remember there was a year where it was different for both, and I was oh, interesting. Monty Williams won in 20. Oh yes, it was Monty Williams won in 2022, but Tibbs won Coach of the Year.
I see. Okay.
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the difference. Anyways, Sixth Man of the Year, Malik Monk, Bobby Portis, Naz Reid. Jay King was mad about this. He said something along the lines of one day voters will understand how to vote for bench players who actually impact their team. And he said he would have voted for Bogdanovich because I think all of his on-off numbers were the Hawks were just so much better with him on the court. But I see why these guys are here. I think it's Malik Monk, but I could see why Naz Reid would win. I think Portis will be third.
I think Monk was head and shoulders and then got hurt.
Yes.
For 2 games, but he's still.
I also have a future on him, so I am biased.
No, you're biased. Okay,
but I
when
do
did
think
you put that in before the season.
No, midway through. It's not a lot, but it's something.
Naz Reid also started a bunch of games when Towns went out, so
it's true. Yeah. Then clutch player or most improved player, Tyrese Maxey, Alperen Şengün, Kobe White.
Feels like Maxey is the obvious answer.
I do, but I think that's dumb.
You think it's dumb?
Yeah, I think the spirit of the most improved player award needs to be restructured because Maxey was a star last year, but he's a superstar this year. I think most improved player shouldn't go from a guy who goes from a star to superstar. It should go to a player who was not very good into blossomed into a star, a really amazing player, Kobe White. Last year, Kobe White got paid $10 million a year last year, and now he blossomed into a star. That is most improved. Maxey averaged 5 more points because Harden left. That is that improved or is it just more opportunity?
Took on a significantly larger role and did well.
But is that most improved or is that took advantage of a new opportunity? Kobe White had the same exact stuff he did last year. He just got better year to year.
Zach LaVine didn't play a bulk of this season. He had to take on more responsibility this year.
I disagree with the framing of the award. I think it's bad. Like Ja Morant won most improved a couple years ago. It was Ja. He's what are we doing? He's obviously a star.
Just because you're good doesn't mean you can't get
disagree.
Better.
I know, but I don't think it's within the spirit of the award. I just don't.
You're a Kobe White guy, and you're a little mad.
It's not even a Kobe White thing. It's just in general. Let me look at it. Most improved player award voting. There are other examples of this in years past that I am thinking of that I can't name off the top of my head. Let me see.
I think
last
there was
year,
a year the best example of like what you would like it to be was Oladipo won it when he went to the Pacers and became nasty.
Yeah, that's why. Last year, Lauri Markkanen won. That's a perfect example. That is the defensive player of the year. Like when Shea was a candidate last year. Shea versus what's it called? Shea versus Lauri Markkanen is Kobe White versus Tyrese Maxey. And it's why Lauri deserved to win over Shea, in my opinion. It's the same thing. Because it's a role player going to a star rather than just a star getting a little bit better and taking advantage of opportunities. And then like the year before, it was most improved was Ja Morant over DeJounte Murray and Darius Garland, who went from like solid players to like making a jump. Like there were no great players like
that was what 2022.
Yeah.
So Ja got drafted in 2019. We all knew he was good for a little while. I mean, I can see that, but it also feels like the stars they give it to don't win it for no reason. Like
go ahead.
I mean, Maxey felt it from the jump. Like, yes, he took on and he had more opportunity, but like he thrived and he did a great job.
I get
That's
it.
not nothing. Like when you're playing on a team and you see, like, just look at Jalen, right? There are games where Tatum is out and then he sees the full focus of the defense. He doesn't look as good. Some guys aren't made for that.
Like listen, like I'm not discounting how good Tyrese Maxey was this year. Obviously he's great, but he went from averaging 23 and 3.5 to 26, 3.5 and 6. His splits both went down. He shot 3% worse from the field and 6% worse from three. Kobe White, meanwhile, went from averaging 9, 3 and 3 to 19, 5 and 5 on the same exact splits. Tyrese Maxey just had more chances. He didn't improve. He just showed what we already knew he could already do and was able to do it because somebody else left. And I get the Zach LaVine thing, but like he averaged 10 more points. Like that,
I mean,
that
the
is such a
efficiency is
significant
there.
thing. Yeah, like that's my only thing. I
don't know. I mean, you make a fair case, but it still felt like Maxey. And in fairness to Maxey, not to say that it shouldn't hurt his award status, but Embiid also like didn't play a lot of the year, and then it was fully on him. And the Sixers, I mean, they were awful.
I don't like stars winning most improved, like true superstars.
I think in this case, you may absolutely be right. Like Kobe White took a massive jump as well and didn't become less efficient. But there are also seasons where sometimes stars deserve to win.
I suppose. I get it. Last one is NBA Clutch Player of the Year.
The dumbest award.
Yeah, Steph, DeRozan, and Shea. I contend if your team's not in the playoffs, you cannot win the award. But
so Shea's the only one that can qualify.
Yeah, I have a future on him too. The answer is probably DeRozan, though. I mean, the Bulls were 10 games above 500 in clutch games, and they finished the season below 500. That's insane. Like, so it's probably
sold me on it. This was the
Warriors were good too, but this is like it's so unbelievably subjective. That's like it is even more subjective than the rest.
Like the reason why the awards suck is because they're all subjective. Like I hate that.
That's kind of like I get it, but then there would be no point of handing out awards if they were objective.
That's not true. I mean, in soccer, they give out a golden boot in the Premier League because the guy scores the most goals.
I guess, yeah. Then just give out a award for the most points.
Yeah, they do.
Most rebounds,
scoring title.
Exactly. So they do.
Cool.
So is the scoring title the MVP?
I don't think it's the MVP.
Well, then it needs to be. My point is, it needs to be. It can't be completely objective. There is no way to completely.
No, I don't. I'm not saying. I think the most fun way to do MVP would be to have like all these other little awards and
the calculation.
Whoever wins the most gets the MVP.
I think there should be like. I guess you can make it some sort of like calculation.
Like when you're in elementary school doing a project.
My favorite story for that is still Gary Washburn being the only anti-LeBron voter.
Gary. Actually, next time I see him, I'll be like, "Hey, respect."
That is.
I also hate LeBron.
All right, let's go to the rat list here, Sam. Would you like to kick us off?
I sure will. So we have this one from today. We'll do rat list MLB umpires. I will share my screen.
I saw this. Is this the Aaron Boone thing?
Open up. Yeah. Why will not let me? Oh, there's open link. It usually says open a new tab. So today, the Yankees are playing a day game at 1 p.m. And their manager, Aaron Boone, was ejected for something he did not do. Now, I'm not even going to share the tab audio. You don't need to hear it. He's just chilling, minding his business. And he has been ejected for nothing. I didn't say anything. He said it. He said it. He's doing the I didn't touch the ball when it went out of bounds.
Did the ejection go through? Did they send him out?
He got tossed 5 pitches into the game.
That is horrible.
So rat list MLB umps.
Wow. MLB umps are the worst.
Aaron Boone for something that somebody in the crowd said.
MLB umps are the worst referees in any sport by a landslide. It's not close. It's
My buddy,
not close.
I mean, you've met Matt. He is a diehard umpire fan, and he is saying that Boone was ejected based off of his reputation. So it's like a Draymond situation a little bit.
Yeah, it's terrible. Also, Angel Hernandez. Are you familiar with Angel Hernandez?
I mean, he is just the poster boy of like,
look at
this guy's bad. Like, you don't even really have to pay attention to baseball, and like, you can
this
just
was
be
a
like,
ball.
yeah, that Angel Hernandez guy sucks. And everyone will be like, yep.
This is insane. There was one play at the start of the season. Angel Hernandez called 10 missed calls or something. One sec.
Are you familiar with his origin story?
No.
So 10, 15 years, around 2010, pitcher threw a borderline perfect game.
Yeah.
And he butchered the call where I think it was either a grounder or a drop third strike. And the guy was clearly out at first, but he called him safe.
I don't think that was Angel Hernandez.
Lost.
I know that play. I don't think that was Angel Hernandez, though.
I think it was.
I don't think so.
You keep looking. About. I don't know if you'll find it on Twitter. I'll just Google it quick.
Hold up. Botched perfect game umpire first base. I know exactly what it was, but I don't think it was him because I know the umpire was very, very apologetic to it. Yeah, it was Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce. My bad.
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez catching a strike. I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe just all of the...
Because he sucks.
Yeah, all of the this guy sucks chatter.
Yeah. But Jim Joyce was in tears apologizing to him too. He felt really, really, really bad that he butchered that. He had a perfect game. Shit happens, man. It's tough. Ratlist Emmanuel, our chatter today. You're a fucking idiot. Still angry at it. If you were in Talking C's today, this guy came in and was like, Tatum sucks. That was a terrible game. I don't know how you keep defending him. And I let it go for most of it. And then he goes, Jack, you just love him so much. I'm like, and I got mad and I banned him. So
you do have a blind eye sometimes to Tatum doing dumb shit. Today was not a day to be like, Tatum sucks.
I don't think it's a blind eye. I think I try to overcompensate for how much you just
maybe okay. That's
for
fair.
No reason.
That's fair. I'm very hard on Tatum, and I think the chatter was out of line. I don't think that he was right.
It was bad.
This is just a weird spot to criticize him. Team just won by $1 billion. He played a very well-rounded game and made good decisions.
Yeah, saying that he was bad in that game, you just didn't watch. You don't know ball objectively. You're an idiot. Anyway, sorry. I get mean when I get angry, so I'm gonna.
That's fine.
Be done with that.
Sure.
Yeah, ratless that. I gotta be pissed off.
You're absolutely allowed to criticize people on our show.
I don't like being mean though. I just don't like being rude. But
can we?
It got me mad.
The eruption.
No, I don't want to pull it up.
You can go.
I have the video. I have this video though. I found the video of the fan yelling, behind Boone.
All right, what do you say?
Here it is. Yeah, look at this. Look at the guy in the blue right here on the screen.
With the phone? Oh no.
No, this guy right here.
You can tell he had some power behind whatever he had to say.
This has got to be one of the worst ejections
That's
ever.
hysterical.
It's got to be the worst ejection ever.
Respect.
MLB umpires, and sorry, Matt, have some of the how do I phrase this? They have some of the
they have Napoleon syndrome.
Yes, they have some of the biggest egos in the world.
Yeah.
They are the most sensitive motherfuckers on the planet. They think they're better than everybody. They are the people who peaked in high school and now are trying to cling on to any semblance of power that they can finally find in real life. That's what they are.
Okay. That's hysterical.
But yeah.
Okay. Rat list. Getting an oil change. Well, Ratlist, the shop. I am very loyal to this shop. I go there every time I need an oil change. I go. Last Monday, I'm going up to Maine for this Maine Celtics finals game. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my oil change beforehand. I don't want my car to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Their oil pump is not working. Come back the next day. Still not working. Mind you, the first day they were like, hey, come back in like an hour. We got you. So imagine if I decided to sit there and wait. I would have been devastated. Finally got my oil change today. Took care of me. We'll continue to go back. But very annoying time for them to be like, yeah, pump out of service. Can't help you.
Mm-hmm. It's fucked up. They lied. They just fucking lied to you.
Could have led me astray.
Insane. So I need like a VAR. I need a ratless court here. Almost. So I was driving and it's like this lane highway merger where it's like there's 2 lanes coming into 3 lanes, but then the second, like the lane on the left and the lane on the far right, like merge into one, right? And so I'm in the left lane merging with the other guys, and I'm going through. The people in front of me are going somewhat slow. So once I get fully merged in with the other highway, I turn my blinker on and I'm going to merge into the far left too. You know what I'm saying?
And you're in a tough spot because you're going slower than the flow of traffic.
Exactly. But completely clear in the far left 2 lanes, like all the way clear, completely clear. The car behind me goes at the same time as me. Like they merge at the exact same time with me. Very annoying.
You had your blinker on.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You got to.
Right.
Blinker, go in. Both have a blinker on. They didn't do anything wrong at that point, right? And so then I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And I go to the far left lane too. At that point, I'm going like 80. I'm like going 82-ish, 83. Like I'm trying to be like, all right, let me get up and get it going. They go all the way into the right lane, go 95 all the way past me.
And it was deliberate. It was a revenge pass.
But they are in like the far right lane now. Like they go all the way to the other side of the highway to go forward. Now I need the ratless court is I did nothing wrong, right? Like this is like I'm going far, like I am in my right to be in the left lane here, going 82, correct?
Yeah,
or not?
No,
correct?
if you're going 82, that's I'd say that like anywhere from like 75 up is appropriate.
Okay, respect.
Depends on the flow of the rest of the traffic, but usually like that's
because like everybody else in the right 3-4 lanes, I forget if it was 4 or 5 lanes, was going like 70. So I'm like, all right, this is the only place I can go at the correct speed. And so I was just like, I was clearing my name here because I was like, I don't think I was going that slow. Clear. And so I was like, what the fuck are we doing? So yeah, ratless, stupid fucker going around me.
Ratless, the NFL draft. So the NFL draft is Thursday, and it is rearing its ugly head. I'm going to have to hear about the fucking Patriots all week. The NFL draft is going to overtake the NBA playoffs on some platforms where I enjoy consuming media. And I don't like that. This is my time of year. This is when basketball is a spotlight. It's the most wonderful time of the year, except for when the Celtics lose. And it is some of the best energy, content, like all of the storylines, drama that come from the NBA playoffs. You're going to talk about the fucking draft. And I'm not even talking about like New England talk radio because like I do get it. Like Patriots never have a top pick. They have a top pick. Like, I don't know. Talk about the fucking playoffs. Playoffs rule.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what the Patriots will do, but we're not going to talk about that here. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't care.
On the roads again. So I'm driving back from the game yesterday, excuse me, and I'm in the second to left lane. So the way this works is I'm trying to get ahead of it because the road splits into 2 different highways, like 2 and 2, 2 go one way, 2 go the other, and I need to go to the right. So I am in the left or the far right 2 lanes because I need to be there eventually. And so I have my blinker on for a long time here because there was like a decent amount of traffic. So I'm like, I need to make sure I'm good before I get over. So I've been on for a long time. As I'm about to go into the other one, car comes all the way flying in like 90 plus, weaves past me. So I had to like jerk back and then in front of me all the way across. I genuinely think they were like racing because then another car was behind. Like it was terrifying because I was like halfway into the other lane and had to go like back into this. It was like ratless that fuck. And then at the same time, ratless stupid fucking idiots who don't know how to pay attention. I am in the far, so I'm following this minivan in the far left lane, right? And I think they were like, oh, this person in front of me is going too slow. Let me go into the second to left lane to try to get past them. But then they run into an even slower car. At that point, I had already been like, all right, you're going that way. I'm going to pass you and go up to the front. As I'm passing them, they put their blinker on and start to drive into me. like a foot from my car. I had to honk. I'm like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? And they like jerked back into their own lane, and then they eventually were behind me. And I think they knew they fucked up because they stayed far enough behind me that they weren't even close to me. They know, they're like, oh shit, my bad. But like, guys, what are we doing? There's being like aggressive on the roads and like wanting to go fast, and there's being fucking moronic. Like, come on, pay attention.
There actually was a time this week where I was like, what if I printed a "there's no stop sign here" sign out just to hold up, like, but I would do it in reverse so it came up in the mirror as like they could read it. Because I mean, I have the intersection near my house that everyone stops at. It's like, there's no stop sign, just fucking drive. I know I've talked about it before, but it got so bad that I was like, what if I actually like took action?
Yeah. Who knows?
Rat list. So my pinky has been killing me. It's almost back, probably 80%. Played the game yesterday. Had a pretty good game. But I shook someone's hand yesterday. Not at the game. Went to breakfast, ran into somebody my girlfriend knew. And I had to like shake hands.
Sure.
I am a fan of giving a firm handshake. I have no problem with it. But I've never been on the receiving end of a firm handshake while dealing with pinky that I initially thought was broken.
Sure.
So I did have a nice shock about me when I shook hands with this guy, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that hurt." So Ratless, the firm handshake that I received at breakfast yesterday.
That's fucked. Ratless Duke for whatever is happening out there that I can't deal with yet because we're still potting. But 1 second, I'm gonna yell at him.
Hey!
All right. That is what I said. This isn't really Ratless, it's just a funny story. So I played golf on
Ratless the Rain.
Ratless the Rain, yeah, but it subsided, so actually it wasn't that bad at all. But we played at Widow's Walk, excuse me, in Situate, which is a very nice course. It was very fun. It was very good course, cheap for the how nice the course was. But 18th hole, you get up to the tee, and the way it is, I can't find an image or a layout, but it is like a very long par 5. Like, it's a very straight hole, but immediately to the left of you is just the road, like the street. So I hit my ball, I pump it like 300 yards into the, like, it gets in the middle of the fairway. It was a great shot, and we were playing a scramble, so the two guys on my team like don't hit it as far as I do, so they're like, all right, we'll just go like hit for fun because we're gonna take that ball because we can't hit that far anyways. Mike steps up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna step on this. And Mike was like, all I want to do is not hit it in the road. I just don't want to hit it in the road. I just want to hit it straight. And he's singing to himself, don't hit it in the road. Don't hit the road. Swings, just beelines to the left, right towards the road. And me and Ryan were sitting there behind, and we just go, oh, like just mouth agape, start crying, laughing. And you see Mike go, like, head up on his hands, like, oh shit. He hit it so far left, it went over the entire road. And so like he was in the clear, but like that is how far left.
There's no houses on the other side of the road?
No, it was woods.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I think I hit a house though, because I hit a ball really far left, and there was like a apartment complex right there. But
there's a curb this season where Larry's playing golf, and ahead of him is a deaf guy.
Yeah, you showed me this.
Oh yeah, and Larry hits the ball, and he yells forward, but the guy can't hear him, and it nails him in the back.
He's like, Larry, what the fuck? I didn't think I'd hit it that far. Whoa, you hit that really far. Yeah,
it's like the best hit of his life.
Golf rock though. I don't have anything else. So
all right, Ratless, our men's league team being significantly better than most of the other teams that we played against. So our team has lost. Jack was unable to come to the game yesterday in the last couple games because of Celtics. Unfortunately, missed the next one because Celtics. But we have been blowing the doors off teams. This is back-to-back sessions. I think we had a bye week last week. So back-to-back games where we have blown the opposing team out by 30 plus.
Mm-hmm.
In both of these blowouts, I have been the victim of painful contact, but have not been able to justify getting a whistle because the game is all but decided. So 2 weeks ago, I caught a mean knee to my tailbone after I hit a pump fake and the guy came flying in and hit me. And then yesterday, I went for a rebound and got a palm to my face on a slap right in front of a ref where you could hear the slap and there was nothing. And I wasn't even mad at the ref because I was like, well, like, we're up $1 billion. Like, what are you going to call it for?
Yeah.
But I mean, it hurt, dude. My eyes were watering and shit. I felt like a bitch.
I believe you. It definitely hurt.
Yeah,
100%.
It hurt. And then, obviously, Ratless Knicks fans, as always, hate this group of people significantly. I hate them so much. They started a "We Want Boston" chant after they won one playoff game on Saturday night. And then Madison Square Garden put the Celtics up on the matchup on the Jumbotron today for shoot-around. I don't know if you saw that.
Like the what? No.
You know how, like, at the Celtics games, it has, like, Celtics 0 points, Heat 0 points?
Yeah.
The Celtics were the team that was on the other side of the
Celtics rent-free. Yes, that's it. Rent-free.
Literally a fan base that has no idea what to do when their team is good. They just have no idea how to behave.
It is damning for the Nets that they can't steal any fans from the Knicks, though. Like that is.
No, I mean they have loyal fans. Like I will never say the Knicks fans aren't loyal, but they are the worst fans because they
Worse
just
than Lakers fans. Makes you think. Yeah.
Yes, I said to my dad, I think the Knicks fans are worse than the LeBron people.
Okay. Wow, that's saying something. There you go.
Because they have no idea what they're supposed to do.
Fair enough. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, that's it for me. I made sure I had some material today. I didn't want to come up empty again.
You're right. We had to stretch out the show. It wasn't a long one at all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Thank y'all for tuning in for a massive show. A lot of stuff to go over. So we're here. We're here, baby.
If we're gonna do 2-hour pods, this is when we should do them.
Yeah, we did 22 minutes on the other playoff game, so huge.
Thank
you for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like on the YouTube. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Do all that good stuff on streaming platforms as well. And I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with these pods on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We have game recaps the morning after each game, and we have other videos in between. Plus, we're doing streams. You can find Talkin' C's live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. I don't think Wednesday is going to be the day this week, though we may have a Thursday one, which is going to be fine because Wednesday we would have just had, hey, they still haven't played a game since the last Talkin' C's. But we'll be live for that. And we have Celtics of the Roundtable, 5:30 tonight. Me, Jack, Noah, Bobby, Cam, Kari, Justin. Hopefully all of us are here. We'll be doing the stream. How fun. And you can also find our pregame streams. Half hour before, we'll be here live for each game. You can find our email and us on Spotify and Apple first. Spotify and Apple. Got a little distracted. You can find the audio pods and game recaps there. Leave a 5-star review, and you can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. You saw the emails today. Get it on the fun. Tell us your thoughts on the Celtics. Tell us your thoughts on the Rat List. Whatever you may have to contribute, let us know. We love to hear from you guys. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Our Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube, and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JackSimoneNBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.